Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Refuge from Narcissism. And this refugee video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous. And here's his story. Ollie, I'll get right to it. This is an update following up from the previous incident resulted from the video. All roads lead back to narcissism. I also said burn all bridges back to narcissism as well to you. I took your advice that week of my daughter's birthday and didn't follow through with talking to my grandmother. Aside from giving you my real story, the only reason I wrote that letter for a previous video was because I had an extreme bad feeling in my gut that I never had before. I had a relapse. Quick insert. Last year, when my grandmother was in the hospital, I specifically called the nurse's station for an update. Instead, they forwarded me to the room. A woman answered the phone. I asked about an update, and she started mechanically updating me on my grandmother's condition. I didn't even realize it was my mother until about halfway through, so I just let her finish. I just told her I thought I got the nurse's station. Sorry. Of course, she went into narc rage, pulling the phone away from her face, talking to what must have been a nurse in the room. She went on to say that she is the spokesperson there and that I was her son, that wouldn't speak to her. Ordering the nurse for me not to call there. As you know, Ollie, what she really sent in her rage was me not acknowledging her. As you know, Ollie, what really sent her into her rage was me not acknowledging her and dismissing her promptly, denying her supply that she felt entitled to. As soon as I hung up, I immediately called my aunt, the Viper, informing her of my mother's obnoxious behavior. And of course, the bitch went back and told my mother how pissed I was. I guess when I told you to burn all bridges back to narcissists, this is why you don't go back. Why? This is why you burn the bridges back, because this is what you get. This is what you get. Of course, the bitch went back to my mother, telling her how pissed I was, that in which gave my mother her supply. I still went there, had my visit. My aunt was there, most likely to monitor anything I said, and that was the last time I saw my grandmother alive. Fast forward a year later to the week I sent you the letter for that video. I took your advice on your video. I missed my grandmother's call. I was celebrating my daughter's birthday and didn't catch her call. Her voicemail goes along the lines of, "What's wrong? You're not allowed to talk to your grandmother now? Well, tell your daughter that her mother won't allow me to talk to her. I don't know what's wrong with your wife." Then hangs up. At that point, I had to fully commit and go no contact with her. But yet you called her on her deathbed. Why? 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 She hasn't earned anything. Only for you to get yourself abused. This is why you burn all bridges back to narcissism. At that point, I had to fully commit and go full no contact with her. I wasn't about to explain to her or even address her after hearing that voicemail. Clearly, my mother was poisoning her too, and of course blaming my wife for it all. I've been with my wife for 20 years and they blame her for everything. Basically, my wife is the reason why the entire family has been annihilated, scattered, etc. When my grandmother passed away 3 months later, of course, they made sure they listed everyone's significant other in parentheses on the obituary, excluding my wife that I've been with for 20 years. Childish at best. Why would you expect any different? Your mother didn't brainwash your grandmother. Your grandmother created your mother. Not only do they hate my wife because she took one of their terminators and reprogrammed it to be normal, but now it's imperative that they blame my wife for everything because it relieves them from having to explain why I won't have anything to do with them. They always repeat the same line, that my wife controls me, projecting me out to everyone like I'm a son husband to my wife, when in reality my mother hates my wife because she couldn't make me a son husband for herself. Let me know your thoughts. Anonymous. Yeah. Your mother wanted you to be a son husband. Your grandmother wanted you to be a son husband. Your grandmother created your mother. Okay, so they're going to blame your wife. Now, I would ask how similar your wife may or may not be to your mother, because, you know, it is rare that you have a mother like that and you don't marry another version of your mother. But you've been with her for 20 years. They still hate her to this day. You knew back then when you wrote to me originally that there was something wrong. You took my advice when she proved herself on a voicemail to be the toxic bitch that she was. You went full no contact, and then right up to her deathbed, right on her deathbed, you think her deathbed absolves her or something, and there you go calling. There you go calling, crossing back that same bridge, okay, that you should have burned in the first place. You burn the bridge so you don't go back on their deathbed. Period. Period. That's why I burned the bridge. They knew they knew not to even call me. They only cut your wife out, okay? They didn't cut you out of the obituary. They still got plans for you. So you better burn that bridge and burn it quick. Okay, and you better learn from all this. It ain't never gonna change, because all your mother did now, with your mother, with your grandmother out of the way, she now becomes Queen Bee. She now becomes top of the pyramid. You better burn it, and you better burn it quick, and you better burn it permanently. Because let me tell you something. Your mother will die too someday, and other people are going to die too. And you're going to keep crossing that fucking bridge every time somebody's in the hospital? Fuck them. Learn your lesson. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like me to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Refuge from Narcissism. Take care.